And in business, the Central Bank of Nigeria and the Nigerian Communications Commission have ordered banks to pay 212.5 billion naira, that's 85% of a 250 billion naira debt owed to telecom operators for Ussd charges by December 31st, 2024. On structured supplementary service data, that's Ussd, a communications protocol that allows a phone to connect to a software application in real time. It's a GSM service that's available on most mobile phones with short message service capabilities. The memo detailing repayment plans comes after years of delays and disruptions over Ussd payments and have led to growing debt despite regulatory interventions, requiring banks to collect and remedy Ussd fees since 2021. Many banks have resisted, arguing that the charges are unfair and that Ussd technology remains outdated. And moving on now, news in TikTok. ByteDance short video platform has removed millions of videos posted by users in the third quarter of 2024 for violating its content policy. According to the platform, Nigeria and other countries were top of 50 countries where videos violating its policies emanated in Q3. In total, 147.8 million videos were removed globally for the period under review. In its community guidelines enforcement report, the top 50 markets recorded to have violated policies accounted for approximately 90% of all content removal for the quarter. The removed contents have violated one or more of TikTok policies, which centers around authenticity, privacy, security, behavioral health, safety, and civility, among others. Experts have emphasized the need to address all thefts to generate the revenue required to fund the 2025 budget. They say appropriation measures must be implemented to minimize the budget deficit, as the nation can no longer rely heavily on borrowing to finance its budget, while emphasizing on effective implementation to significantly reduce development gaps across the country. Recall that President Bola Tinubu on December 18, 2024, presented a budget proposal of 49.7 trillion naira to a joint sitting of the National Assembly, marking a notable increase from the 27.5 trillion naira in 2024. And away from that, the bulls relaxed their grips on securities prices on the floor of the NGX exchange, giving chances to profit-taking. The index measuring prices position dropped by 0.03% to indicate losers on deals. The FS price losers was tantalizers, with 10% drop following a multiverse John Holt, Caverton Aviation, Omatech. The gainers lines included Honeywell Flour, UACN, Iredell Holding, NACO, and MRS.
Security is tied directly to how we generate income, which is through our oil revenue. How are we able to curtail oil theft? How are we able to curtail bunkering? So if we're able to curtail oil theft, it then means that to a large extent, we might be able to guarantee the kind of revenue that would help finance the budget.
We need to deal with those areas that create opportunities for people to appropriately divide resources allocated to various sectors. As you can see that the 2024 budget, the excessive deficit in the budget itself is a worrisome. We need to find a way to bridge the wide budget deficit that is being presented by the president.
Experts there reacting to moves made by government to address all theft and how more revenue can be generated to fund the budget coming next year. Well, away from that, Asian stocks nudged higher today while the dollar remained firm, keeping the yen rooted near 5 months low in a thin year and trading as investors looked ahead to 2025, when the Federal Reserve is expected to take a cautious approach to rate quotes. Now, MSCI's broadest index of Asian Pacific shares outside Japan was 0.1% higher and on course for nearly a 9% gain this year. Japan's Nikkei shot up 2% due to a weak yuan set for about 21% rise in 2024. China's blue chip CSR 300 index was 0.1% higher, while the Hong Kong Hang Seng index rose 0.3% following a holiday. European markets are likely to open higher, with Eurostock 50 features up 0.5%, German DAX features up 0.3%, FTSE features 0.08% higher. New data shows that core inflation in Japan's capital accelerated in December, while services inflation remained steady, keeping market expectations for a near-term interest rate hike alive. Now, factory output, however, fell in November for the first time in 3 months, suggesting that softening overseas demand is taking a toll on the export-reliant economy. The data is among factors that Bank of Japan will scrutinize at its next policy meeting, January 23rd to 24th, when some analysts expect it to hike short-term interest rates. The Tokyo Core Consumer Price Index, which excludes volatile fresh food costs, rose 2.4% in December from a year earlier, compared with a median market forecast of a 2.5% gain. A Chinese electric vehicle giant, BYD, is offering discounts until January 26th on 2 of its hybrid and EV models. The Chinese new energy vehicles maker announced limited time discounts for the second-generation Song Pro DMI and Kyun Pios, that's EV Glory Edition, bringing the starting prices of both models down to $99,800, that's representing about $13,670 US, valid till January 26th. The second-generation Song Pro DMI was officially launched on September 23rd with BYD's latest DM 5.0 technology and a starting guide price of 112,800 yuan. Meanwhile, the automaker said Brazilian authorities' portrayal of their employees as enslaved is inconsistent with the fact that there were translations and misunderstandings. Brazilian labor authorities on Wednesday said they found 163 Chinese nationals working in slavery-like conditions at a construction site for BYD-owned factory in Brazil's Bahia state. EV giant said it had cut ties with the firm that hired the workers and was working with authorities. Chinese Shanghai Huzhou High-Speed Railway officially began operations today, linking the financial hub of Shanghai with the historic cities of Shenzhou and Huzhou in a major boost to regional connectivity. The high-speed railway has a design speed of 350 km per hour and spans 164 kilometers, connecting Shanghai Hangzhou Station with Shenzhou City and Jingzhou Province and Hongzhou City in Shandong Province. The rail has 8 stations, providing convenient access to major cities and towns along the route. The railway project designer from China's Railway Construction Corporation says the first high-speed railway connecting the 3 major economic hubs of Jiangsu, Zhejiang, and Shanghai in the Zhangtu River Delta that are residents of the Shanghai expressed excitement about the operations, as the new highway-speed railway is expected to significantly reduce travel times and improve connectivity between the 3 cities. Meanwhile, crude oil prices were little changed today, but set for a weekly rise amid optimism that economic stimulus efforts will prompt a recovery in China. But a stronger dollar capped gains, with U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude selling at $69.75 per barrel, with an upward price review of 0.19%. Brent also experienced an upward margin of 0.11%, selling at $73.34 per barrel. Bonnie Light sells for $78.62 with a decline of 2.84%. And for the OPEC basket, crude oil dealers are offering $72.88 with a downward price review of 1.15%.